What's up friends, this is Shukesh Bonik once again, and today I'll be doing a step-by-step comparison in between these two lower mid-range devices. I have already done a speed test and this is the full detailed comparison. First of all, on my right hand side I have the new Samsung Galaxy J5, which is retailing at 11,999 rupees in India on Flipkart, and it's a great device actually. Flipkart is promoting this device as a gaming phone, but I think it's more of a multimedia device. On my other hand, I have the Motorola MOTO G 3rd generation, which is one of the hottest smartphone at this moment, retailing at 11,999 and also 12,999. I think the 11,999 variant is just a joke with half the RAM and half the storage, so don't make the mistake. I have the 12,999 model here, and it's notable the base model of the G3 is priced exactly same as this J5. As you know, J5 is also retailing only on Flipkart. Well, first of all, I'll compare the exterior design and build quality. The Motorola MOTO G 3rd generation is a thick device with 11.6mm thickness, whereas J5 is 7.9mm thick. So that's a huge difference. Now regarding the build quality, there is Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the MOTO G3, and there must be some scratch proof glass on the J5 as well, but it's not Corning Gorilla Glass. Now most importantly, the MOTO G3 is a water resistant device as well. You can immerse this phone into 3 feet of fresh water for 30 minutes, so that's great and a huge difference to keep in mind, of course. Regarding the build quality and look, I think both of these phones are decent but not the best, but I don't mind. These are lower mid-range phones. And regarding the design of J5, it's the typical Samsung, which is quite repetitive, boring, at least to me, because I have seen lots of these devices, and apart from that, the look and feel is quite premium, comparable to the 2014 flagship, that is the Galaxy S5. Regarding the MOTO G3, it also takes after its predecessor, but still it's not that much old, and the front look of the G3 is, I think, quite beautiful. So it's up to you which one you like most. Regarding the display, the MOTO G3 and also the Galaxy J5 feature 5 inches HD display with the same PPI, but they have totally different look and feel. The absolutely great viewing angles of the Super AMOLED display on the Galaxy J5 is unbeatable, and MOTO G3's IPS panel is suffering from brightness and color fading. Super AMOLED also renders much saturated colors, whereas IPS panels offer accurate and natural color. But overall, I'll go for the J5 regarding the display. From the front, the MOTO G3's display is also pleasantly bright and colorful. It's not bad at all. There is a front-facing camera flash on the J5, which is basically a continuous LED, which is very useful, but quite surprisingly, there is no ambient light sensor on this J5. So no auto brightness. There is an outdoor mode, which makes the display very bright, but still the lack of light sensor is unacceptable. Now there are some common facts about these two phones. Both are released almost at the same time, and both are 4G capable devices with dual SIM slots, taking micro SIM card and also micro SD card expansion option, but MOTO G3 supports up to 32 gig cards, whereas you can install whopping 128 gig cards on the J5. So that's a huge difference. The Android version on both of these phones is Android Lollipop 5.1.1, which is the latest at this moment, but as this Moto G is a Motorola device, you will probably get faster OTA updates. And regarding the battery, you have got non-removable 2470 mAh battery on the G3, whereas the J5 packs a 2600 removable battery. And regarding the battery backup, I'm extremely happy with both the phones, but the Samsung Galaxy J5's battery performance is just unbelievably great. You will get at least 2 full days to up to 5 or even 7 days if you are not a heavy user. The ultra power saving mode is the best battery saving feature on any smartphone. There is a stock battery saver on the MOTO G3 as well, and you will get around 1 or 1.5 days on normal to heavy uses on the G3. 2.5 or even 3 days on very minimum uses. Next, I will talk about the cameras. Both the phones feature same resolution cameras, and on the Motorola MOTO G3 you have got a dynamic dual CCD LED flash, which will ensure the perfect white balance, and the maximum aperture of the MOTO G3's camera is up to f2.0, whereas you have got a faster f1.9 lens on the Samsung J5, which will ensure better low light handling. Now I have tried both the cameras outdoor at the same time on a cloudy day here in Kolkata, and I got almost similar images on both the phones. The large 13 megapixel images were very sharp, clear and crisp. The focusing was accurate as well. I have uploaded the camera samples into my webpage gadgetsportal.in/camera-samples. You can download and check yourself. Overall, for the price, both the cameras were excellent, though I think that Motorola G3 produces more colorful and pleasant images, but in low light I think Moto G3 actually suffers from slight grain. J5's camera is also not that great in the low light, but still slightly better than the G3. Though the images are acceptable considering the price tag, and regarding video, both the cameras capture full HD videos. In this department I am slightly inclined to the G3. J5 produces very sharp images, but G3 produces a much pleasant videos. You can check the video samples uploaded into the channel. Now the Moto G3 supports a focus point controller with exposure compensation settings. You can just move the bubble anywhere to manually focus and also change the exposure. Breathtaking slow motion videos can be captured as well. On the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy J5's camera is feature rich with lots of features. There is a pro mode with white balance, exposure control, etc. and the beauty face is my personal favorite. This will airbrush your faces and remove any pimple, wrinkles, etc. which is not available on the Moto G3. Nowadays almost all the cameras feature this awesome trick. Now regarding the front facing camera, both the phones feature 5 megapixel shooters, but on the Moto G3, as you can see, the viewing angle is actually quite narrow, so this might be bothering for taking group selfies. But regarding the quality, Moto G3 produces better front images with less noise and more accurate skin tone. But don't forget the front camera flash on the J5, which can make a huge difference. Next, I will be talking about the CPU, GPU, RAM and the gaming as well as benchmark performance of these two devices here. Again, there is a good similarity. On the Moto G3, you have got 1.36 GHz quad-core processor, whereas J5 packs slightly slower 1.19 GHz quad-core processor. The chipset is exactly the same Snapdragon 410 and the GPU is also the same Adreno 306. Now I'm going to talk about the vital difference of these two devices, that is, on the Moto G3 you have got 16 GB of storage and 11.92 GB user accessible, whereas the J5 is actually an 8 GB model with only 4.65 GB for the user. As you know, there is an 8 GB model of the G3 with the same price tag as this J5. Regarding the RAM, you have got amazing 1169 MB free on the G3, whereas only 430 MB free on the J5. TouchWiz interface eats up most of the RAM. Well, I already discussed about the battery performance of these two devices here, and both are really excellent. Here is the list of sensors, and as you can see, most of the sensors are missing on the J5. Samsung and Flipkart are promoting this device as a gaming phone, but you might face some problems in games, and the most surprising fact is the Samsung J5 is only 2-point multi-touch device, whereas the G3 can handle all the 10 fingers. It's a shame nowadays a 5000 rupees phone can handle 10 or at least 5 fingers. So I think the J5 is more of a multimedia phone. The gaming performance is also slightly better on the Moto G3, not only because of the higher clock speed of the CPU, but the presence of all the sensors, the lag-free graphics and overall look and feel make this Moto G3 a preferable device for the game lovers. There you get the AnTuTu benchmark result and the scores are very close to each other. Galaxy J5 of course can handle all the games the Moto G3 can, but if you compare this side by side, I'll go for the G3. If you made your mind regarding J5, then also go for it. I also want to mention here I faced some issues while downloading the games on the J5. I don't know the exact reason, but I am working on it. On the Nina Mark II benchmark, you have got slightly better FPS on the Moto G3. So overall, regarding benchmark and gaming, Moto G3 outperforms the Galaxy J5, but not by a huge margin. Well, let's talk about the interfaces and the ultimate user experience, which is the last thing that matters. As you know, on the Galaxy J5 there is TouchWiz interface, which is customized for better user experience, and It's also packed with handy and innovative features. There you get themes, that is, you can change the whole look and feel of the device. From this theme store as well as from the Galaxy App Store, you can download numerous Samsung Galaxy apps that are interesting, innovative, and will change your overall experience with the device. For example, Samsung Knox is a separate workplace for your Galaxy J5, that is, anything you do in here, from clicking a new image or calling a person, everything will be secured under this Knox. It's totally separated from the general gallery or call logs, so you can maintain 2 profiles on this J5. There are a lot more I can show you. You better check the separate videos on this J5. On the MOTO G3 you cannot expect anything like that because it's running on the pure version of Android. There is no user optimization Motorola did on the G3, but the benefit here is it's faster. You must have seen the speed test in between these two phones where the MOTO G3 actually opened apps and games much quicker than this J5. There are some add-on interesting features by Motorola into this phone. For example, you can open the camera or torch with twist and karate chop motions, so these are very handy. And Motorola did include some custom applications like the Motorola Migrate, Motorola Assist, and Moto Display, which I'll be showing you very shortly. Moto Assist actually manages the sound profile when you are sleeping or in a meeting, and Moto Display is a very interesting way to show notifications when the display is off. Let me show you a demo. When your device is resting on the table and you have new or unread notifications, once you pick up the device you will get power saving notification bubbles. You can read them just by swiping this up and ignore them by swiping left or right. It's very interesting, and check the separate videos on this J3 to know more about this. On the other hand, on your J5 there are lots of smart features like this. For example, there is a device security option. You can scan the whole device for viruses, and starting from the keyboard to the notification center, the settings menu, and the camera interface, each and everything is customized for better user experience. And you can of course do some of this by using third-party launchers, but still you need to put lots of efforts and time. Let me just give you a short example. If you want to dismiss all of your recent applications, you need to swipe one by one. There is no direct option for that. On the J5 you can do that with a single click. So if you are coming from a custom interface phone, then you might find this Moto G3's stock interface slightly boring. Well, we are almost at the end of this review, and let's make my final verdict. Well, both of these devices are great for the price, and the display, the build quality, the look, and the camera, multimedia, each and everything on these two phones are very close to each other. You can go for any of these. I already mentioned all the pros and cons of these two phones in the videos, so take note and you decide. If you ask me which one I personally prefer, then well, I think I'll go for the Motorola Moto G3. I liked the Galaxy J5 also, but the repetitive design, the sluggish interface, and the lack of sensors, especially the light sensor, and the overall feel of the phone are holding me back. But that's my personal opinion. Both the phones are really great and almost equally good. If you are going for the J5, go for it. If you are thinking of getting the Moto G3, then you won't be disappointed at all. The nice front look with water resistant body and super smooth interface, and most importantly the slightly better gaming experience, make this Moto G3 one of the best entry-level devices. Well, that's all in this review guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have found this comparison helpful, then please don't forget to subscribe. I'll be uploading lot more videos on this J5 and Moto G3. If you are thinking getting one of these, then please do consider subscribing. You will find the videos very helpful. You can check the channel for more interesting videos like tips and tricks, full review, gaming review, etc. The camera samples are on my site and also on my Facebook page, facebook.com/gadgetsportal. You can also do me a favor. There are 2 Flipkart links in the description below for buying these devices, and if you are getting any one of these, then please use those links. Gadgetsportal will receive few rupees as commission. In this way I can upload more videos like this to help you with your buying decisions. Well, that's all in this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep in touch and have a nice day.